Welcome back to Rome Boys. On this episode, is missing Mass a sin?
Yeah.
I'd call that a big yes.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Or the meme, the picture you like to put up. Yep. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Yeah. Machine
Absolutely.
gun yeses. Yeah. It
Yes,
is.
absolutely.
I
So
never heard
missing
Catholic grade
Mass.
school, Catholic high school, into college that it is a grave sin. It mentions in the Catechism under the Third Commandment section that it is missing Mass is a mortal sin. But we got to clarify deadly sin. For a mortal sin to be a mortal sin has to be three conditions: full knowledge, grave matter, and full consent. So it's
It's
gotta be
wrong, you
seriously
know it's wrong, and you did it anyway.
Yes.
But we have to be clear on that. We have to be very clear on the fact that you're ignorant of something that is a requirement is no excuse. Ignorance is...
If you don't know about it, it can't be a grave sin. I mean, I did not, Catholic grade school Catholic, I did not know it. I missed Mass. I was not in grave sin. That's what the church
Is
teaches.
this where they get the whole ignorance is bliss?
Lordship coming up on the outside, and so is ignorance is bliss. They all coming up in a line now. It's ignorance is bliss, getting the measure. Lordship fighting back on the inside. Speed get lovely opening on the inside rails and trying to come through. But it is ignorance is bliss.
Yes, absolutely. There was one saint that said there's more people saved by ignorance than actually saved by, just
Oh,
by
wow.
being a reverent, solid in communion with God.
Had a buddy of mine tell me one time, he goes, ignorance is bliss. I just looked at him and went, you must be a happy man.
As long as he laughed.
Was it Ignatius? Ignatius that said ignorance of scriptures is
Saint Jerome.
Ignorance
Jerome.
of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we need to be informed. It's our job to be informed, and the church, the priests, the deacons, the laity ourselves, we need to be educators and catechists. And the breakdown of Catholic teaching being taught is because no one knows these things. We're afraid to say it, because we don't want people to be in serious sin. Of course not. We don't want people to be going to hell, right?
Let me ask you a question. So are there degrees of mortal sin where some are worse than others?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then if I say I didn't know it was against the fifth commandment to...
And then there's ones that totally fall in line with natural law, like murder. Everybody knows murder is wrong. I'm sorry. There are conditions, self-defense and war, and we can get into those.
Now we're getting into sin. But I mean, should we just are we wanting to focus this on the Mass, or are we going to focus this on just general sin in general?
He's not sure if it actually is a mortal sin, or you're saying it's a mortal sin even in ignorance?
Is
that what you're going?
If you're a baptized Catholic...
Because I picture so many Catholics in the world missing Mass.
Yeah, if you're a baptized Catholic and
do they know,
you've been confirmed, how is it? This would be such a small number. How could you not know?
I would argue a lot don't. I mean, not just because my own personal story, I was never taught through grade school, high school, confirmation program, never mentioned. Never heard it until college. I would venture that catechist programs have not mentioned that. And those CCD teachers that are there faithfully as volunteers haven't been told a whole lot. And I don't think they've passed it on either.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, because if you know, and you actually, hopefully I'm not.
I hope you're not.
Ignorance
I hope you're right.
will save people. So, but they have to fully choose it, So there are conditions where someone can't make it to Mass. They tried everything possible, those kinds of conditions.
Well, and if you're sick, I mean, you really shouldn't
Absolutely.
come because you don't want to get other people sick. I mean, there's
Yeah.
common sense needs to be.
We can push the
added to
line
this.
on that, not like a little
Right.
cough,
Yeah.
But missing Mass is a mortal sin. So if you're on vacation, you should make a point.
That is not an
It
excuse.
is not an excuse. There are Catholic churches everywhere. There's apps to help you find Catholic masses and times. There's websites. You can all Google it and on your phone, whatever. There's no excuse to miss Mass.
It's awesome too.
Sunday Mass and holy days of obligation
right.
are required of us. But okay, so let's go back here. Like, yes, we're required, absolutely. 1 hour out of 167 hours a week for Jesus. If it's a holy day, 2 hours out of 167. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
But we should be longing to want to go to Mass.
Yeah.
I love you, Jesus, so much that I want to give you my worship and my praise, and then you give me yourself in
Yeah.
Holy Communion.
Exactly.
And then now we have to tell people, you have to go. Well,
See, I have a
if
buddy
you
of mine-
love the faith, you'll want to go.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, he always says that I have a problem with the word obligation.
Yeah, sure.
Because that
We're
means I
Americans.
have to.
We want to rebel.
God
We
tells
want our
you
way.
you
We
have
want-
to do things.
And, and he has a point
Submit.
there. He has a point that, yeah, it shouldn't be an obligation. Like you were saying, you should be wanting to
Yes.
go. I forget, I think it was Father Ricardo in one of his talks, he was talking about you want to see some reverent or people who believe in the Eucharist. You want to see people who want to be at Mass, go to a daily Mass.
Yes.
Because they don't have to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to be there.
Those the cream of the crop of your parish.
Yes. Those, and I guarantee they're probably the 6 or 7% that are doing most of the work too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are the ones who want to be there because they don't have to be there.
Yeah.
But
Sundays
again,
are
if
an
you
obligation.
believe in the real presence of the Eucharist, you'll be going to Mass. And
Right.
so there's that 70, 80% that don't believe. That's the ones that probably are not
Yeah.
making it to Mass. And so we pray that we have to help them to believe in the real presence, but that's hard. Everybody has their own
If you're
path.
trying to find an excuse as to why you think like your kid's, baseball game or softball game or
Is
soccer
more important
game is more important
than Almighty God.
Well, I want my child to be able to participate in that. That's cool. Good. I'm
That
glad
is
you
a
have
good,
that love.
but the greatest good.
Yeah, but at the expense of defaming the commandment, right? Of keeping holy the
And
Sabbath.
by all means, come in your baseball uniform with your
Yeah,
cap. I mean,
sure.
we want you to be dressed up as best you can. But if
Yeah.
you're showing up how you are, that is certainly better.
Yeah.
There's a Catholic church right next to Minute Maid Park. We have gone to Mass in our Astros gear as we're on our way to the game.
Yeah.
They actually have a banner outside that church that says, make it a double hitter. Hit Mass, then the game.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
It's like,
Nice.
that's cool.
Yes.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
But you were mentioning though too, about the baseball games. I actually had a friend of mine confide in me that whenever his boys were in school, they're all grown now. They would go during the summer, put them in the baseball or whatever it was, football camps, and they would go around the state to all these different tournaments. Well, while they were gone, if it happened to be on a Sunday, they would skip Mass. His boys don't go to Mass anymore.
Yeah.
Or one of them in
And
particular.
it's a beautiful experience to go to different churches.
It's
and
awesome,
experience
yeah.
Mass.
He feels
Yeah.
responsible for that. He said maybe
Well,
if I
yeah.
would have just made it a point to take them while we were gone, maybe he'd still be going to church.
What a moment. What an opportunity to show, hey, this is the most important hour of our life.
Right.
So we're gonna schedule everything around that. Some people might think, oh my gosh, this is crazy, it's impossible. Let me just
Oh, God knows we're on vacation.
let me clear the airwaves and all of the excuses. My wife is the perfect example. She's missed Mass twice in her life.
No way. It's not possible.
In her life. And she's got
Twice? I thought it was once.
no, it was twice.
Had a
She was
baby or
sick
what?
Both times? Yeah.
Yeah.
One time she was sick.
Yeah, one time she was sick, and
That's true. I remember once too. so.
Yeah. I actually thought about this over and over and over because when we're on our show, I'm like, okay, I want to make
Yeah,
sure that everything I
clarify
said
numbers
is
and everything, yeah.
Right.
valid
So
here.
what was the second time? Sick again?
I was
or-
thinking.
When we got married on a Saturday, and we left on a Sunday, and Father Michael O'Connor said, "You are going to miss Mass tomorrow because of your schedule, and I'm going to give you
Dispensation.
dispensation for
Okay.
it."
Well, good for
And
her.
Father Michael O'Connor is dying right now, and so it's
Pray for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what a holy man to think about that, And
Yes.
of course we did because we were like, "Here's our itinerary," and he asked where you guys
The
go, and
foresight for your
He
souls.
knew your schedule. Wow,
well,
that's cool.
and does he? I feel very special about this, but he probably asks everybody who gets married on a Saturday,
Yeah.
and their honeymoon's the next day,
think
and
about
he's
that,
like,
but I don't know.
I want to keep these holy
I've never
people
heard
holy.
that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because we've just received communion, we just received
Sure.
the sacrament of marriage, and he's like, I want these
Although I
guys.
heard and I did research on this, and Jimmy Akin says that is still the wedding mass is valid for your Sunday obligation.
Ah.
and
Oh,
there's
it is?
different I mean, I looked into that. I've always was told variety of things. Like it has to be past 3 o'clock. It has to be past noon. It has to be the same readings.
Right.
And so I heard, at least that's what Catholic Answers says, that if you went on a Saturday wedding mass, that counts as your Sunday obligation. So we take it for what it is.
she only still.
And I blame it on Jimmy Aiken if it's wrong.
Well, it's interesting because when I said this, I thought the other reason she missed was me. I defiled the holy woman.
We won't go into that.
But back to your friend, that he wished that he would have told his sons, wished they would have went to mass. It's never too late though. Like I'm picturing my dad, he is struggling with cancer, will be dying, who knows when. And it's not too late. He's told me all kinds of things. He's been opening up about things and it's not too late for him to pass on the faith to his daughters, or whatever it is, You can say, I regret this. I wish I wish I would have went to mass. And if I could have do it over again, this is what I would have done. So it's never too late.
Never too late. Yes. And
But that personal encounter with people too, one-on-one. Yeah. Yes.
And you dads out there are even my dad's still an huge influence on me. So you're still, if you're watching, you're still a huge influence on your son.
And moms too. Just because falling away Catholics, you still have the influence.
Yeah. I hope folks are hanging on. I'm in healthcare, and we have people that are in the military. We have people that are in different lines of work, and it does take them away from Sundays,
Sure.
and it can take them away from Saturdays and Sundays, and they're locked into their job.
Police officers, firemen. Sure. My brother-in-law is a fireman. There's a lot of times he's working on Sundays.
This is okay.
Yes.
You have to know that.
It says that in the catechism.
Yeah. So that's it. We'll just end it. With that point, just know that you're okay.
But
what I would say is, and what I've always heard and through different RCIA programs is, make mass. There is a day in the week that you're going to be able to make it.
Right.
Make mass every week.
Well, that wasn't such a chore, now was it?
Just go once, and offer that to
Saturday
God.
night to Sunday.
Yeah, if you can make it, but it's impossible, right?
Yes,
you're working around the clock.
For most people, it's possible.
Yeah,
but
right.
You can do it, and you know this, man.
But for those, it is.
But if your schedule permits you from making Saturday or Sunday mass, do it Monday. Do it Tuesday, whatever. Find one during the week. There's one somewhere.
There's nurses that work 12 hours. They work through the night. They have to sleep. I mean, we've got to be real. I think about this because I have these employees, and I just yearn for them. And I look them in the eye and say, "Thank you so much. I know what you're giving up, and I appreciate it greatly."
And you brought up earlier, getting that dispensation from a priest is totally legit. You're going on a camp out on the weekend. You're in the middle of Big Bend Park. And your car breaks down, and you're like,
And I live in a van down by the river.
in that case, you wouldn't make it.
Right,
but if you have the foresight to know, I got 2 12-hour shifts. There's no way I can make it, and and you're clear conscious by asking the priest, am I good?
Yeah.
Help me
Well, I
out
think there's your intention.
Yes. Amen.
Am I intending on making mass and something happens where I can't?
Right.
Or am I just doing the heck with it? It's just mass.
Yeah.
What's your intention? What's in here? What's in here telling you?
Yeah.
Am I doing this just for myself? Blow it off.
Pure
Or am I
obligation.
doing it I got to get there. Don't stress. It's okay.
We went camping just last weekend or the weekend before, and we've been sitting around a campfire, and it rained on us, and we went to mass. We tried to go on Saturday, but their website was an hour off, so we get there and 2 hours early, and it's like, oh my goodness, and we're hungry and just wore out because we didn't sleep good.
Kids are cranky.
Oh yeah, and when are we going to eat next? And now it's going to be an hour later. But it was so awesome because I know I smelled the high heaven. I tried to spit bathe in the spigot at the campsite, and
Is that you gotta take a shower, little man. You are right. Whoa!
yes, they have showers and all, but anyways, you got 40 people in this group.
man.
They got 7 kids,
them
they got
sit
6
over there.
kids. Yeah. But what an awesome experience, and it showed all of our kids, and to hear them, there was no kids besides ours
Wow.
in the audience. There was one baby, and everybody was just looking at us. Their hearts were glowing. The priest was so excited to celebrate that Saturday evening mass with us, and everybody was singing, people kneeling, receiving communion on the tongue, and everybody was just lit up.
Yeah.
So
changing lives just by going to church for an hour.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it does send a message, especially when you're on vacation. You're away from your normal routine. You're out, and you make it a point to find a church. And a lot of these places are kind of fun to visit.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean, you can run across some really beautiful churches and just randomly, let's just pick one, looking at the map. Where are we going to be crossing through next, And, you can come across some real gems.
Yeah.
It's we went to Boston on vacation a long time ago. We had free tickets, and Melissa and I went. And the priest was from Texas, but it's interesting when you go to a different parish. A lot of times they're used to seeing the same faces, even in Boston, big cities. When he sought us out, and I was like, "Hey, where are you guys from?" Like, whoa, the two of us in this Boston, what seemed like a cathedral to me. And so it's a witness, even to the priest, when you go on a vacation, you're in a different place. I love going, when we go on vacation and you go to, I don't know, the Caribbean or something, and these big open air churches.
Totally different than what we're used to.
You can't hear anything. You don't know what they're saying. Glad I read the gospel before I came in the readings, but
Full
it's
experience. Yeah,
it is a sin if you don't make it, and you got to
grave sin. Yeah,
a grave
sin.
Grave sin.
If you have the three.
So if you
because what is it ultimately saying? If you skip mass, you're saying my time is worth more than spending 1 hour with you.
That's kind of harsh.
I remember when I taught I taught theology in the Wichita diocese, solid diocese, right? And the 8th grade question, one of the very first questions is, what is the most important thing you can do as a Catholic? Multiple choice. Attend Sunday Mass is the answer.
You had one job. Just the one. You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't even know that until I had to give the test. I'm like, I knew missing mass or going to mass is important, but that is the most important thing you can do as a Catholic.
Yeah. When you break down one day, it's 1,440 minutes. All they're asking for is 60 of those minutes in a day. Now you have 7 days, right? Multiply that 1440 times 7.
Less.
For weekday mass, you're at 30 minutes. Tops.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
but it is. It's what are we saying by skipping? It's like my time is worth more than yours. What am I doing here?
And what are we saying when we do? Like when we go on vacation and our kids see that, they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that beautiful church we went together, and they're going to do that in the future with their families.
Absolutely.
You know what? Often I've gone on Saturdays before Super Bowl Sunday just to see if it was packed, and it wasn't. And then to know, drive by the church on Sunday and there's nobody in the parking lot. It's like,
which doesn't make any sense because the game doesn't start until 7 or 8 o'clock at night nowadays. Good grief.
Yeah.
And so, Super Bowl Sunday is more important than the Super Bowl of your life.
What happens at Mass is infinitely more important than a game.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl is the ciborium that's holding Jesus. That bowl.
And all the angels and saints and everyone is there and everybody's waiting on you. And I guess he's not showing up.
Yeah. But it all goes back to that whole belief in the Eucharist. Is it truly him?
Yeah.
Is it truly him?
Because you'll be there.
Exactly. I mean, if we don't believe it's truly him, then why are we going in the first place?
Yeah.
It needs to start there.
And we're heretics, and we're idolaters, and we could go on. So make it. And if you haven't made it, and you miss Mass, and now you know, go to confession.
You're good to go.
No way. Sure.
Yeah,
that's right.
Done.
So get there. What else is there? In the meantime,
be bold.
Be real.
Be Catholic. God bless.